Hello, everybody. This is Dissonant Waves. This is another Minisode. I'm here. Dominic's here. Trix is here as well.
Yes.
And we don't really have a set game plan today. We're just going to talk about some 2020 stuff that we've done so far. What our 6 months and change, almost 7 months in this year has been in terms of music and what we listen to.
And maybe we'll get into a little bit of stuff we listen to outside of that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Mix it up a bit.
Yeah. Let's see. So, start somewhere. We started off this year listening to Hockey Dad, Petite League, and Algiers.
Great lineup.
Yes. I listen to two of those albums regularly still.
As do I.
I think it's the two different albums you listen to, though.
Yeah, I'm listening to Petite League and Hockey Dad. You're listening to Petite League and Algiers.
Yes, Algiers, great record. Petite League, of course. Roast Once the Night is fantastic. Shin Brews, still really good, still adorable to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good start to the week, and we kind of went up and down a lot since then.
Yeah, we had my. I think we only uploaded like 3 episodes, and then I had like that major depression hit just from all the shit that was happening at the time.
Yeah.
And again, I'm so sorry for that.
No, don't worry about it. It's shit happens. What were we doing that week? The Adolescents or something?
Yeah, it was. I think we kept putting off the 2020 album. I think it was the first one where we were doing Beach Bunny. For that album.
Oh yes. We kept putting that off. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like the K-pop stuff. We did Green Day, but yeah, recording that 2020 episode took a while.
It did.
Which was actually fine for me. I was busy around then.
Yeah.
And let's see, that was Tame Impala, Aliax, and Beach Bunny, and
yeah.
I listened to like a couple songs from one song from Tame Impala, one song from Aliax from that episode. So that's something, but not a lot.
Tame Impala is one of those bands where like, yeah, I'll listen to the album, but every time they come up on like a playlist or whatever, I skip them.
Fair enough. And then we had our little saga of weirdness. I'll call it that. Because we had our 2-part Jeff Mangum little thing going on, and that was like the bullshit episode. That was listening to Sonic while playing Sonic. And then we get into like Lauv territory.
Lauv, who he repackaged his all of his music and re-released it onto EPs.
How many EPs were there?
7. I'm checking right now. Hold on.
And then, well, there's a new one with new music. We can't count that one.
Yeah. But let's see here.
Hearing
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums that all look like they were done in MS Paint.
all the covers and stuff.
Yeah, Workout with Love, I Miss You, Party Vibes, Driving Vibes, Lonely, Night Vibes.
Are they just streaming, or is it like, is there a price somewhere?
I'm just on streaming right now.
Okay.
Play music.
I mean, I guess if he's just streaming, he's making like playlists for his loyal fans to listen to.
Yeah, but he could do playlists and not. Oh, they're not on. Are they? Yeah, they are on. Buy. It is not available in my country.
Interesting. So technically not for sale, but maybe elsewhere they're for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of Lauv to give out there, I think.
Yeah.
I guess if he's doing it for the streams, that's a little weird, but okay.
It's still scummy.
It's very strange to keep repackaging your music like that. That was a firework. I don't know if that heard at all.
I did not hear any.
Okay. I'm in the area of Illinois where there are random fireworks all the time.
Yeah, luckily nothing like that that over here of Saranac beer.
I hear New York City has a lot of fireworks, though.
I don't know. I don't get to the lot.
Fair enough. So I'm looking at some of the stuff we've done. I'm looking at the Sonic episode, and I'm realizing I barely remember Wunderbar. Can you walk me through that a bit again?
Just listen. Just have the three really good kind of like surfy but punky songs, and then just have a mediocre album that's the way.
Okay, but because I'm thinking, was it?
That album just it's fun to listen to occasionally. Like when a song pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, Wunderbar, they're fun. And then I go to listen to the album, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't that fun.
Because like I'm mixing them up with Horse Jumper of Love.
Horse Jumper of Love was Anxiety.
I like logistically I know that, but I don't. They seem similar to me in my mind right now.
Horse Jumper of Love was much more sad. And I've been listening to a lot of Horse Jumper of Love actually, because I've been trying to fucking decipher their lyrics.
Well, if it's anything like Jeff Mangum or Kevin Barnes lyrics, good luck.
Let me read you some of the lyrics for Orange Peeler.
Sure. This is like the last track?
Yeah, this is the last track. There was a night when my view of the whole world changed with the crack of an eggshell. I laid my head to rest in the hands of a pretty orange peeler. She said, "Baby, don't be so down on yourself, at least not Jeanette, please. Baby, don't be so down on me." I realized the moon shines like a pillowcase, increases like our comforter. You think of me, I think of you as a place, as a home. I hold on to your words like a candlelight. You hold on to mine. A pantomime, a selfless man with a bat cut like a photograph was pulling out my wisdom teeth. He planted them in the backyard and they grew to be strong orange trees. The fruit was rotten, but the dirt was expensive. That's all that nature meant to be. The fruit was rotten, but the dirt was expensive.
I remember that line for some reason. The fruit was rotten, but the dirt is expensive. I should give them a listen. I think that'll be one I'll probably go back to just for fun to see if I like Wunderbar or Horse Jumper much more than I did.
Yeah, they're very like melancholic, but I will quite use it.
Well, as I talked about, No Hitter Petite League album, the inside sleeve, or I can't remember if it's like the sleeve or whatever, but there's like a fold out, and you can see that they listen to Wunderbar. So
let me grab one of my copies of that real quick. It's right next to me. Oh, leg cramp. Fuck. Yeah, I think it's on the poster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Wunderbar. I see it.
Yeah, it's like in the center. Like they have it on their wall. Dome. Yeah. Lorenzo's cool. Can we just say that?
Yeah, he is.
I want to meet Lorenzo one day. I have his shirt came in today. His defund the NYPD shirt.
I was gonna buy that one, but like I live in New York, so.
I think it's almost funnier that I don't live in New York.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe.
Like I live in rural New York, so I would get shot wearing that.
I live in I would realistically I should have defund the Chicago PD, but I think this is fun too. Yeah. Either one would work for me. But anyway. So I don't know what sticks out to you. What do you remember from this year? I have a list, so I can just see whatever, but I don't know if you do.
Yeah, I downloaded your list. I mostly just remember the lowlights, if I'm going to be honest. Like, there's been a lot of good highs.
Yeah.
But, like, the lowlights just stuck out, like fucking Lauv and the Thin Mind by
Wolf Parade.
Wolf Parade. I was going to say Under the Glass, which is one of their song titles, and I don't remember why I remember that.
I don't remember anything from Thin Mind, and I feel bad. Like, I almost feel bad now.
I should give that album.
Yeah, and then there's Father of All Motherfuckers, of course.
Oh god, that was horrid.
And it's like, it's horrid, but like if it was like an unknown artist, it might be kind of okay, maybe for some of it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, this is Green Day. And it's like, you can't, should you compare all their projects to each other? Should you compare American Idiot to this? Well, we did, because they literally had the same album art, but like, it was so disappointing to listen to that and be like, wow, you like went mainstream to like, it's like, it was like
garage rock.
Yeah, it's like almost listening to Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
But I would argue Huey Lewis was better.
Yeah, Huey Lewis was a lot.
Like, I didn't enjoy the Huey Lewis songs a lot, but it seemed more in their style, and it seemed they were more comfortable, or they were more interested in doing that music. I don't know. Yeah. Something like that. And I only have Huey Lewis like 2 spots up from Green Day, so... Because I did not like Seismic. Y'all did.
Seismic was pretty good, I thought.
Like, of the bullshit episode that we listened to,
It grew on me.
I think The Caretaker grew on me a lot. I listened to it like twice. So it's like you sit there for 13 hours of music, It really...
Pick that up again, just for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
Have a mental breakdown at 3 in the morning while painting.
Yeah, and then the one that we don't talk about, I think, funny enough, is the Jeff Mangum Orange Twinfield Works. I think we've mentioned that as a joke here and there, but we ended up talking about the other 2 way more.
Yeah, and Sleepify. We mentioned Sleepify quite a bit.
Oh yeah, we do talk about Sleepify. Sleepify is like the gold standard of, like, is it better or worse? Because Sleepify is 5 minutes of silence. So is it better or worse than 5 minutes of silence? That's like...
Oh yeah.
If there's a standard out there and like how you can compare music, I think that is it.
Yeah, definitely.
And even then, it's loosey goosey. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas for if we do a bullshit episode next year. I think one.
Yeah, I'm figuring some stuff out. I'm debating how I want to go with it. If I want to go for like some porno grind, if I want to go for something entirely different.
If both of you object to my first idea, the other idea is just going to be super, almost caretaker-y, I think.
I'm not going to pull another Caretaker, don't worry.
My idea is not going to be that extensive, but I have a couple ideas that might take a while.
Oh boy.
But they'll be fun, hopefully.
Yeah, they should.
Let's see. What else have we done this year?
Surprisingly, we haven't done a King Gizzard.
Yeah, we did like 2 last year, and then nothing so far this year. I guess.
Yeah.
Riddle.
We did do French King Gizzard.
You mean the better King Gizzard?
Yeah. They're not even that gizzardy.
They're of a similar-ish style in that they are garage rocky.
They're both psychedelic garage rock.
Let's see. I still think the recording-wise, our weirdest episode is still probably Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, that was weird, but a lot of fun.
Because we all played Sonic, that very game, during the recording at some point.
Yeah.
And I still enjoyed it. None of y'all did. None of y'all appreciated the hard work I put into doing that research, also. I'm going to say that. I had so many stories lined up to talk about, and y'all were just like, nah, let's move on.
We just weren't really jabbing with the Sonic Adventure 2.
Like, I was on
the Zoomers of the group.
Like, there's so many good stories about how, like, the Knuckles rap guy did it in a day. Did everything in a day.
That was interesting.
And then he came back like 10 years later, trying to, he was like saying like, there's gonna be more raps, and then it turns out there weren't, and he was just trying to chase clout.
Didn't he get arrested for something?
Felony. I can't remember if it was like possession of a weapon or an assault charge. One of those. But it was not great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to remember exactly offhand, but he did get arrested for something like that. And like how like one of the singers had like a hit in the 90s and then it's just kind of coasted being in other groups and stuff since then, and like
Yeah, like was in the one of the live TV show there.
Yeah, he did like the music coordination for the Meredith Vieira show or something like that.
Yeah, and was like something in like there was someone who was attached to like one of the talk show hosts.
Yeah, the girl who did the Rouge theme was in like the Roots, I think, for some stuff.
Yeah, that's it, the Roots.
Which is interesting to talk. I mean, not talk about, but it's interesting to know that because, yeah. I don't know. I had a lot of fun researching that because that was like one of the harder ones to research because there's so many artists and you have to really dig through Sonic, forums and whatnot to figure stuff out.
Yeah. And you know how dangerous digging through Sonic forums is.
Yeah. But, the things I do as the research person in this group, even though I was never appointed that and no one asked for it, I just decided to do it.
And I overanalyze the music theory. Don't worry, we're in it together.
I still think it's funny when what Smash Mouth song was it where I had this really interesting explanation for what it was, and you were like, "Nah, dude, it's about this," and I was like, "Ah."
It was the Walking on the Sun.
And I thought it was
you were like. We thought it was like this rose-colored glasses thing, like how it's not supposed to be like this, but they're like hinting it. I'm like, no, they literally said, we wish life was like the '60s. There was no racism then.
Yeah, I thought they were doing like a commentary on that kind of stuff, but no, they really meant it. I guess that's it's disappointing.
Old Harwell.
Flavor Town eludes him yet.
I mean, that's Guy Fieri, but I mean.
I know, but they could be brothers.
Yeah. In fact, Guy Fieri mentions that in an episode of Banner Drive.
I'm glad he does. Let's see, what else? So, let's talk about our EPs, since we did that as well.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Mine, I still think I put out a load of bullshit. But a lot of fun bullshit.
And you haven't released it officially anywhere.
No, I don't think I'm going to. Unless I put out something better.
So that is the irony, folks. By the time you hear this, those episodes will be up, and there might be a snippet in the recording just to have a taste of what was going on there. But that's going to be unreleased.
Oh no, it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. That's right. So yeah, if you really want to figure out what Trix was into, go to her YouTube page.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. Acoustic bullshit.
And ukulele bullshit, too, I think.
Oh, yeah, ukulele bullshit. But that still falls under acoustic.
Yeah, for me, I still don't believe that I made Jerry's Tall Stories in a few weeks. I think that's fun, but it's like, what the fuck did I actually do here?
Yeah.
I still would like to hear Rillin remix them all at some point. I want to know what like decent sound mixing sounds like for this stuff, because I know I did not mix those very well, and yeah.
Yeah, mine's just a lo-fi trainer.
To be fair, I don't know much. I don't know much about audio mixing. I know some of the basics, but yeah. I barely know how to record myself on a mic, so.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast.
You just do it because you want to, not because you know how.
True enough.
All right, so what are your top 5 right now for 2020, you think? What we've listened to so far this year?
So, of new albums or just...
Whatever you can think of.
Rush is definitely up there just because I quite enjoy Rush. Hockey Dad, again, I've been listening to that one quite a bit. And Riddlin's got me excited for the new record.
Yeah.
I gotta throw Petite League in there just because it's my absolute favorite record.
Yeah. There's 2 options you have not mentioned. 3 options, really.
Of Montreal, I know we did one or two albums.
We did a couple, yeah.
Jittery Joe's quite
Oh,
really,
yes.
really enjoyed that.
That's still like one of my favorite live albums. That's pretty high. That's pretty high up there for me.
Yeah, that is a real good live album. I'm not one who normally listens to live albums. I can see myself going way back.
Like the thing about Jittery Joe's, I think I mentioned it in the episode, but Jittery Joe's is very much evocative of like what it must have felt like to be there. Like the ambient audio, despite being somewhat annoying sometimes, is really good at placing you. Like if you were in a coffee shop with Jeff Mangum and he was singing to you.
I've been to a lot of acoustic gigs, fathers in particular, and yes, it captures the atmosphere perfectly.
Again, just the idea that Jeff Mangum is in a coffee shop doing this amazing set and everyone's just going about their night or whatever is just like, it's mind-blowing. It's like, I don't want to get too like highfalutin here, but like, I don't know, it's like Da Vinci painting in a corner and everyone ignoring him, which they did in real life.
Well, he was kind of like big shit back then.
But you know, he didn't really sell a painting until after he died. At least that's what everyone's always said. I mean, Jeff Mangum was big in his own way, in his audience, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could like just sit as still and like go about my night. I would have to like just sit and stare and listen.
Definitely.
I'd be transfixed by that. Yeah. So for me, my favorite so far this year, I've got like the Middle East. I want you to
that one was great.
Yeah, I want you to You're Always Happy is great. I mean, I got to give it to System of a Down. Toxicity is a classic album.
Definitely.
Algiers, like you said, Algiers, I listened to a bit. A lot of fun, like soul punk is a genre I want to explore more. And of course, there's the Weekend Run Club.
Oh yeah, the Weekend Run. Can't forget that.
No. Who, against all odds, had remained, I think, on the top of most of our lists.
Yeah, I think it's the top 2020 album.
Yeah, which I never would have expected, picking it last minute. You know, like a local band that I knew the singer of, and going up against like big names and stuff. It's incredible that Zoo has made it so far.
Definitely. But it's a great record.
It really is. Like, I don't know why. Like, they should be signed to like a bigger label. They should be like actual like going out there when things are getting better and touring and stuff. I think.
Yeah, if they ever come to New York, I will go see them.
The last thing I really went to before lockdown was their concert in Chicago, and it was pretty great. I mean,
it'll be interesting to see what they do with their new lineup.
Yeah, because they're down one of the guitarists or something like that. Yeah, they're down to 4. I think he was like one of the founders of the band too, which is interesting.
Yeah, people's opinions change. Not everybody wants to be in the same band forever, and I can respect that, honestly. And I think that Weekend Run Club will really like flourish with a new member and some fresh blood.
Oh sure. I was doing my research for our next episode, which we were going to do this week, but things changed, for Judas Priest. And how, by the time they got to British Steel, I think by the time they got to, like, the first or second album, the whole original lineup was gone.
Oh, yeah. Judas Priest is Rob Halford.
But, like, Rob Halford wasn't even there for, like, a couple years, at least.
Yeah, he did become his band.
And the thing I read,
It's like Iron Maiden, how Bruce Dickinson was not the original singer.
Right. I was reading. I think like they hired a bassist, and then the bassist like died almost right away.
Fucking.
Like he was in a car accident, and then that was just it.
It's yeah. I'm trying to think of the movie. Spinal Tap style, the drummers.
Oh, is that where that joke comes from?
It just comes from. I don't think it comes from that, but it comes from that sort of thing happening a lot.
Yeah. It's a strange, yeah. Strange happenstance of rock. I think that there's a lot of weird deaths, but I guess that's celebrity life for you.
Yeah.
Any other episodes stand out to you that you thought were really fun or interesting?
really. But I just have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I do too. I do like doing this podcast a lot. I will say I will mention our K-pop episode with Zach was interesting.
That was an interesting experiment.
Our first guest, and so far only guest.
Yeah, and I realized after the fact we should probably be a little more careful when we invite people onto the server, because I kind of just had like the password to the YouTube channel pasted on the in the saved.
I don't think he noticed or cared.
Yeah, but still, one of those things I think we should be a little more careful.
Yeah, and now you let the whole internet know.
Hey, they won't know unless they get on here, and even then we'll probably have a secure method by then.
Okay, we'll see. Let's see. There's not really much else to talk about. Unless you have something.
I've been listening to a bunch of weird shit recently.
Yeah? Like what?
I've been listening to metal.
Okay.
I'm gonna spoil my next 2020 album, actually. I'm gonna be doing the album Viscerals by Pigs X7.
Okay.
And it's like a stoner doom metal sort of deal.
Pigs
and
X7?
Yeah, it's the word pigs just written out 7 times.
I get the count, make sure I did that right. I got 6. Interesting, okay.
Yeah, and it's like half the song just feels like you're just in the middle of a nuclear wasteland.
Okay.
And just, the bombs are exploding off around you, and it just sounds wicked as hell.
So this is modern metal? This is Devin Townsend era metal?
It's almost got like a throwback to like old school Sabbath vibes, but it's
okay.
It's not shreddy.
See, the thing I have against Judas Priest and British Steel is that it's not really heavy.
No, it's dad rock.
Yeah, and it amazes me that was considered metal at one time.
You want to know something funny? Permanent Waves at one point was considered metal.
Wow. And Black Sabbath and Ozzy still shred harder than they did even back then.
Oh, yeah.
Like Crazy Train, I would definitely classify as metal, for example.
Oh, yeah. Even though that's the fucking happiest riff of ever, the...
Yeah.
After the intro.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Before we go, actually, since you mentioned stuff you're listening to, I should mention stuff I'm listening to. I've been getting into Old Town Road finally. I've been trying to talk about it with both of you in the chat, but no one else seems to really care.
I have not heard. I think I heard the song in one.
I remember hearing it in like Dunkin' Donuts and being like, "Oh, that actually sounds pretty good," and then just not following up on it. And then I finally came around to it, and then like watching the Grammys version was like amazing, because BTS is there, the yodeling kid is there, Nas is there, everyone's there. It's like a dream. It's how people kicked off 2020.
I'm just not the biggest fan of Billy Ray Cyrus, although I am a fan of.
A fan of what?
His mullet.
I remember as a kid when Hannah Montana came on, I was big into the idea that she was like this actor's daughter. I want to figure out who this actor is. Not even realizing he was like a big country singer. But I didn't really realize he was a country singer. I just because he was on a show called Doc for a while.
Yeah.
And that was in syndication around the time Hannah Montana came out. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch this show, and it's just country guy comes to the city. He's a doctor. He's gonna use the country medicine to cure the urban people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if I actually want to watch that.
I definitely wouldn't.
But I don't know. He seems all right, like as a person. I hope.
He's surprisingly left.
Yeah, I put a thing in the chat about how Bush 2 was using his song as like a campaign theme, And Billy Ray was like, I guess, but that's not really what it's for.
Yeah.
His family's Democrats. Which I guess explains Miley being Miley, but yeah, Old Town Road's pretty good. A lot of the stuff I've been listening to has also just been stuff I've been suggesting for the podcast, so because I like a lot of things and I suggest them pretty quickly. I got some stuff coming up that I definitely want to get to because I want to keep listening to it. Anything big you have coming up you're gonna suggest? You want to just spoil it here?
One of my 2020 albums, I'm thinking about mixing it up and doing a comedy album, like a stand-up comedy, which I think would just be a real weird change of pace.
I'm down with it.
And Lorenzo on Twitter keeps teasing that there's going to be a 2020 Petite League album, so I'm going to have to cover that one.
Yes. And there's supposed to be, like that other thing he has going on too, right?
Oh yeah, the D-Fang?
Yeah. We'll see if that comes up to anything, I suppose.
Because he did put out that single.
Yeah, and that single wasn't bad when I remember of it.
No, it was new metal.
Yes. So one thing I'm going to spoil, I talked about this in the chat a little bit, is that I've just gotten into Sufjan Stevens, and I really want to do a Sufjan Stevens record.
I actually have not listened to much Sufjan Stevens.
We're going to listen to the Illinois record, because it's really good. AKA Sufjan Stevens invites you to come on, feel the Illinois.
I mean, you feel that every day.
I do. And despite him not living here, and the track about Chicago being mostly about going to New York, it's still pretty good. Other than that, there's an artist I want to check out who does not really have much releases, really. Like, he kind of doesn't. It's hard to really figure out where all of his releases are. But it's this random British singer called James Cherry that I'm interested in covering. I don't know why, but English soul singer. I kind of want to know what that's about.
There's a couple bands I've been trying to cover for a while, but I haven't really been able to figure out how to slot them in. I want to do an album, Hoodrat Scumbags by Beach Goons, and that's like a Spanish surf punk album.
Okay.
There's a Russian post-punk album.
Okay.
Entirely in Russian.
I'm down with that. I have a Russian metal album I can throw on at some point too.
I want to do Fourth Wanderer's self-titled because I love that record. I want to do Beef's self-titled, or a Beef CD as it's called in my vinyl. They've opened for Petite League a few.
Okay, I'm down with that.
And their first album is just like a perfect. And I want to do the Frights self-titled because that is just a crusty surf punk song. Our album is just like the go-to like sound of surf punk.
Fair enough. I'm down with all those. But I guess for me, the thing with James Cherry is that his Spotify releases are like, here's a single, and here's a literal single, here's another literal single, here's a couple like stripped versions of songs. It's like a couple here and there. Yeah. There's no like EP or album really. It's just gonna be like, we're gonna listen to all these songs and see what we like. I just don't know what to pair that with.
Alexander style.
Yeah, but there's more.
Oh.
Aiden Alexander was literally like 4 songs.
It was.
And this is like roughly enough to be an album, but not really. We'll have to figure it out whenever I get to it.
Yeah.
I'll try to put something else on as like some kind of anchor. But I don't know what that would be.
For our All-Star episode, I decided I'm gonna do no-hitter. Slugger.
You do no-hitter instead of slugger?
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you if you could change it.
Yeah, because no-hitter is great. And I also just want to get out there that one of my absolute favorite Petite League songs is Raspberry Vine.
Yeah, and
which is a reworking of Raspberry Seeds.
We're probably just gonna add that one to the list too.
Yeah, just replace Raspberry Seeds with Raspberry Vine.
Well, I'll listen to both because I already own no hitter.
Vinyl. So,
Yeah,
I have
and
copies of it.
I also have the download code too. Then so. But yeah, that's about it for us. I think that's a little look at 2020 so far. That's a look at our present dealings and also our future dealings. I'm Dominic. I'm still debating whether or not to return to Crystal Castles one more time. It's gonna be a lot of emotions in an episode if I do. You can catch me on the internet. I write things for tiltingwindmillstudios.com. I'm on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. And I do other stuff. You might hear about it sometime. Who knows?
I've been Trix. You can catch me on Twitter at procrastronaut_. That's procrastinating astronaut underscore at the end of it. I'm on YouTube where I do bass stuff. I'll do the name. And
Under what name? It did cut out.
Moonchild.
Cool.
And you can also find us, the podcast, online, dissonantwaves.space and at dissonantwaves on Twitter.
And Ritalin is out there. Was it ritalin4kids.github.io?
Yeah, dude. And he does not have Twitter.
And he has a YouTube, but he doesn't really care if you watch it.
Yes.
And that's our little mini Dissonant Tides.
The Dissonant Tide Pools.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, week, whatever day you're listening to it. Goodbye.